And we are live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 243. And yes, you heard that in its full entirety. Thank you to Steph and Cricks. As now we have a theme. Respect the Craft finally has its own intro here. But we are back with the president of wrestling himself, Phil Stamper. What's going on, brother? Good evening.
So much. It's Mania week. It's Mania week.
Oh, the insanity begins, and we're only on Tuesday.
You know what? You are not wrong. This week is nuts. What like Mercury in retrograde. There's a comet that has devil horns, and I don't know what else is happening. Like the eclipse is coming. Man.
There's a lot going on right now.
20 years of darkness. I don't know what's happening.
There's so much going on right now. But the thing is, it's like, this is Mania week. It's technically, we say it started yesterday, right? For most, it started maybe even Sunday. But I feel like for you, this has just been a continuation since last week. Shout out to Catchpoint. You were there. Shout out to Revolver had an event last week as well, which is another reason we're here. So we're going to be talking about that. And it's just and now we just continue.
Let me show off my Catchpoint shirt. I just got to stretch a little bit.
There you go. Look at that. Just plug away. Shout out to Catchpoint.
I am a shell. It's okay.
This is why we're here, though. It's all good. It's all good. This is why we're here. It's all good. But shout out to the comments here. We got everything pro wrestling. What's going on? Conrad and VX Sets. What's going on, brothers?
So much is going on.
Oh, man. There's so much. But again, want to plug this away already. Like I said, Revolver did have just a insane grit your teeth event. If you guys haven't already, check it out on Triller TV, aka Fight TV Plus. Make sure you check them out. Catch the whole stream because a lot brings us to this week. A lot brings us to Philadelphia, aka Revolver and House of Glory's joint event that's going to be happening this Friday, featuring some pretty stacked matches already announced, and it's not even the full card yet.
Right,
like it's a lot to go.
It's oh my god! I mean, one Mania week in itself is a spectacle. It's a true experience, and if you are a wrestling fan, I mean, the biggest wrestling event in the world is WrestleMania, and the fact that all of these wrestling events are coming to Philadelphia to surround it is just amazing. And so there's going to be events right there in Philadelphia, events in the rest of Pennsylvania, events in New Jersey, right across the river. So just so much. There's even opportunities that if you're a trained professional wrestler, you can take seminars, you can have opportunities to train. So there's just all these opportunities to jump in. And you're right. And for those of us the events don't stop. They just keep coming.
It's been a spectacle. And again, this is what we love about this time of year, because truly you get to see so many people from around the world that sometimes you might not get to see at live events in the area, especially for the Philly area and surrounding. So it's gonna be a great week. And again, that's also the great opportunity for trained professionals. There's so many seminars. I saw Catchpoint announce, I believe the whole week there's at least someone there.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, because that's going to be a lot of great opportunities to learn. Also, shout out to my team over here at Wrestling Is Now. We're holding a very special Dragon Gate seminar. Ooh. So that's going to be happening this Thursday at noon. So more information for that. Check out Wrestling Is Now for all that. But again, that's what to expect this week. It's going to be insane. Let's see. VX saying, what match from that Revolver show you just had would you recommend seeing first? Ooh, we're going to throw it to you, Phil. What would you recommend?
This is when I get in trouble, because I say things and people are like, you didn't talk about my match.
So, would you like me to take the heat away from you? Because funny enough, I rewatched it today just to make sure it's a little more fresh in my head, because I also had to call a show this weekend. So there's a lot of wrestling just going in my head right now.
Okay.
But if I had to pick one, might be that first time ever singles match between Jessica Havoc and Billy Starks, because a certain individual, I'm not going to say any names, decided to get involved in that match, and that leads to my first question. Why, Phil?
I don't know. Yeah.
Why? What is happening here? The last time I had you on, we were trying to fix some issues with the unit and JT, and then this is another reason we're here because I saw your little bit of a release, that presidential release of banning JT Dunn from the event, and then you do this at the event. Like, what's going on, Phil?
I mean,
we're friends here. What's happening?
My involvement in the unit has been very stressed, to put it mildly. JT Dunn and I were part of a little group called Revelation, that predates the unit. When Killer Cross, JT Dunn, myself, Ace Romero, eventually, even Jessica Havoc, all sort of had a moment where we realized we needed to change some things about ourselves, but we had to get past the mold that was formed for us by certain powers that be. And I had a little bit of power myself at Revolver, but you know what? I was being kept down, so we needed to join forces together. Pandemic happens, and so we fast forward. Now things are different. Hey, Cross is somewhere amazing, and now that left me and JT. Things started fresh anew again. We're equals. We're raising all tides to raise all ships. And all of a sudden, it started to be about the success of JT Dunn and not really the group. It was always about what he was doing next and how he needed to win. And then he wasn't winning. But it was everybody else's fault but his own. And slowly, his ego kind of pushed away. His tag team, like whenever you heard him talk, his tag team, Tyler Matrix and Logan James.
Yes.
His fiance, Alley Catch. I mean, I feel like she was a little bit like, you know what? I can't stand being next to you in your own egocentric little world with the rising of your own ego. And maybe I need to find a better, bigger man. And she did. And me, I was like, I got to fix this. That's me. I have to fix this. I made a promise that we were going to look out for each other. I will fix this. And that's not what he wanted. So he got Jessica Havoc. He got Jake something. Hey, new dominant force. I helped make sure some things also happened behind the scenes for them.
Okay.
And was summarily again given the boot over and over. And you know what? There is only a certain level of abuse that even I'm willing to take.
Understood.
So when JT Dunn tried to yet again cheat to win, because let's face it, I mean, he may be a 2-time Revolver World Champion, but both times he had a little bit of help. Okay, he had a lot of help. I mean,
the record shows it. Again, you can watch those events now live in its entirety.
He won his first ladder match, but I think I was more in the match than he was.
Wow, we're gonna say that, Phil.
Just saying. He's an amazing talent, and that's the thing that drives me crazy. And you know what? He wanted to cheat to win. He doesn't need to do that. I went out there to make things very clear that, you know what, as the executive vice president of Wrestling Revolver, things don't need to go that way. And maybe, perhaps, because of my involvement, he lost this opportunity against Alex Shelley for the Revolver World Championship. And I let JT Dunn and the world sort of know how I felt when, I'm flapping birds in his face. And walking away. And, just to make sure then things were kosher, because you know what? They don't want me in the unit. Guess what? I don't need the unit. I don't need to be with them. And so just to make sure we're all on even playing fields, unit didn't need to be all together in Dayton. So Jessica Havoc won first time ever against Billy Starks.
Okay. So I understand.
I let her know like 24 hours in advance. That's enough notice to get ready for a match.
I don't think that's how that. Yeah, no, but okay. I'm gonna continue here, but okay.
I mean, so so Jess, hey, Billy Starks. She's not the little kid you remember anymore. Billy Starks, and they were going at it. Jessica, I mean, put her in a lot of peril, and so I just had to make things. I also had to share with her some of my own thoughts that might have been in my brain at the time. She might
So
not
that's
appreciate
what
that.
you were doing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
sharing my opinion mid-match.
Okay. Yeah, that was quite the moment to share your opinion. Well, maybe it was a little earned, especially after the attack, not very unprovoked on JT Davidson on the outside. Not
Yeah.
that wasn't very nice. He's been known to have
you don't do that to JT.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't really nice to
So,
the
and
Iron Man
maybe I just wanted to just plant a little message. Just I have a message. I delivered a message.
You did.
I also gave her birds.
Yeah, the birds were showing a lot to members of the unit here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, so that still leads to possibly this week now, because again, I would assume they're not too fond of what you did, and yeah, we'll see what happens in Philadelphia. Because yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Should we talk about Philadelphia?
We should. Let's throw it to that, because it is happening this week. But even with that, again, we're gonna touch on matches that have just even been announced as of the last few days. Because last time we spoke, it was already announced that this dream match was going to be happening.
Yeah.
In Mustafa Ali versus the Amazing Red, and the title versus title match between Mike Santana and Alex Shelley. What we would not know is, in the midst of that, recently at a House of Glory event, Alex Shelley would kind of make sure that this match would remain Mike Santana versus himself, getting in between Mike Santana and Pentagon, and adding a little bit more to this, because now truly it will be title for title in this one, and that raised the bar a lot more into this one than we expected, Phil. So your thoughts on that?
I mean, Alex Shelley has a game plan, and that's concerning.
Very. Well, I think now more than ever, I guess he's playing knowing that he has a loaded gun, in a sense, that he has the crew behind him. He's playing with a full deck of cards here, when he knows he now has more backup than ever.
I mean, right. He is now supported by Matt Palmer and Rich Swann, who made their presence known this last Thursday.
Like it's
and now title versus title. That means one person is going to walk away with both the Revolver and House of Glory championships. I have a feeling Santana's a little mad.
Just a little bit,
ever so slightly. And if you've seen some of his recent interviews too, I think he's a little mad.
He's definitely, again, he's not
pointed.
been,
maybe not mad, pointed.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's been very more open about his opinions on things, and again, with this situation, I can imagine he's gonna have a lot to say when it comes to now defending a championship that, again, it's been something that he's wanted to win, and to someone to be like, oh, I'm gonna come and be the reason you lose said championship. Yeah, I don't think Mike Santana is gonna be too fond of that this coming Friday. So it's gonna be one where that alone could get you in the building. But again, that insane dream match between Mustafa Ali and the Amazing Red, with now Mustafa Ali making his Revolver debut recently, and him also feeling a little bit of now what the crew brings, because Rich Swann not as respectful in that one. Post match, we tried to see the almost code of honor, show of respect there, and he kicks the hand away. Like, that definitely, now we know he does not like to be disrespected. Again, he's looking to make this new wave. He's on his campaign here, and it started recently facing the likes of Alex Shelley, facing Rich Swann recently, and now he faces the Amazing Red this Friday.
It's going to be amazing. I mean, if you look at the track record of the events that Mustafa Ali has been on since he left that company up north,
yes,
as they used to say, he has sold out every event he has been on. He is the guy who's turning heads, and a lot of attention is his way. Amazing Red is an icon in the world of independent wrestling, of professional wrestling. He changed the game in so many ways for professional wrestling as a whole. and these two are going to collide like that. That's just going to be amazing in itself. I mean, and to answer your question that I didn't answer before, in Grit Your Teeth, Mustafa Ali and Rich Swann was a banger. Like, yes. That was like an amazing, amazing caliber of a match. You know what? Alex Shelley and Santana are going to give them a run for their money on that. They're that level of quality. But so is Mike Bailey and Masha Slamovich. If you want to, so Mike Bailey just competed against Marina Shafir. Marina, of course, is a competitor, a former competitor in Invicta. She's also signed to AEW. Speedball Mike Bailey signed to TNA. That was a powerful match. It is the best match I've ever seen of Marina's. Speedball always delivers a quality match, and now he's going to go toe-to-toe with Masha, who backs down from no one, never has any intimidation, has no fear, goes pedal to the floor. Yeah. And so I'm waiting for these two to collide. The danger level, though, I have concerns. In a Philadelphia street fight,
this one right here, either competitor, if they were opposing someone else, would be an issue, because this again might need to, the Trinity Center hopefully has great insurance. But they're facing each other, as it's going to be Red's Steve Macklin with Killer Kelly by his side against Charles Mason. And I've seen the maniacal Charles Mason's evolution in wrestling. And
maniacal's a good word. Maniacal's a very good word.
It is, because from a billionaire playboy to now the root of all evil. And I don't know.
Let's face it, the evil was always there.
Oh no, it was, and it's scary, because it's almost, again, it's evolved. That's why I use that word there, because it's continued to grow in Charles Mason, and I think he thrives in a match like this. But Steve Macklin is one where I don't think he backs down from a challenge, no matter who's across from him. This one,
both of them are scary individuals.
Yes,
singularly. My brain is like comprehending the mayhem that these two are going to cause in Philadelphia. I'm damn. Should we just have made this a body bag match? Just because, like,
even if it's not, I feel like we're still going to see one, because Macklin does love to say just bag him, and we might put Charles Mason in a body bag after this.
Yeah.
If vice versa does not occur.
And, Charles Mason, he also from New York, he's representing.
Yes.
I feel this is a sense. This is not anything I'm trying to plant. I'm just saying out loud, he's from a place he has many friends that are also nearby. And I say that because I look at Steve Macklin and his past. I say many friends, select partners. Maybe that's a better terminology.
I was going to say, I don't know if Charles Mason has many acquaintances anymore because of
action.
Yeah. So,
but
he might be able to purchase a few acquaintances for that night. You never know what could happen.
But then you have Steve Macklin, who, if you recall, was also trained at the Monster Factory that's right across the river.
This is true. So
I'm just saying, if it also comes to the fact that, action spills outside, who has the numbers game in their advantage, in their back pocket, as it were?
Well, especially in a Revolver scenario here, I would assume Red is not going to be too far away. You already have Killer Kelly's involvement. Mm-hmm. Who stops in Alex Colon or RSP from deciding, let us also get involved in this scenario? But again, it's like I said, it's WrestleMania week. You never know who else is in the area. We're in Philly. In a Philly street fight, you never know what could happen.
I did say before I went on the air, I talked to people, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be talking Revolver, Respio, Catch Point. I'm going to be talking about things. Anything I shouldn't say, anything that's going to be put out this evening. What's funny, though, is when I say this next thing, I saw it somewhere, and now I can't find it again. So I'm like, how did it get out there? And even when I asked Sammy about it, he's like, I didn't make this graphic yet. How did you know about this? So there happens to also be a 4-corner tag match that's going to be announced. Red may have some additional members. Ricky Shane Page and Alex Clone will be in action. And you know what? If I'm jumping the gun a little bit, and Sammy's watching this now, sorry, man, you told me it was going to be up tonight, so I'm going to put it out there. There will be a 4-corner tag match between Red's Ricky Shane Page and Alex Clone, GYV's Zach Gibson and James Drake, the Rascals Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz.
Who's the fourth?
Main events Midas Black and
Phil Stamper. Do you remember the match that I said the last time we were on here for episode 211? That I said this same match would happen at Philadelphia. So we're going to clip this because I just rewatched the episode just to make sure what teams I said. And look at that. Look at that, folks.
Like magic.
So we're gonna show
my hickness is kicking. Like, and I'm artificially putting in my hickness there, but it's already like on the surface, and I'm like, maybe I'm just tired.
That is great. We're gonna show these because these graphics are out right now.
Yes.
But stay tuned, folks, because the official match graphic will be posted, and I'll make sure to clip where I said that possibly will be a match. So yeah, there you go, folks. This Friday, 4 corners match featuring 4 amazing tag teams right there. So there you go. That is awesome to hear. But another match that is confirmed that we can't talk about here, just announced a little earlier today. It will be for the House of Glory Crown Jewel Championship, as La Sombra will defend against the one called Manders. And I know this one is another one where, even though it is it's a normal match here, might break up into something else because La Sombra is a very scary individual. Phil, I'm not sure if you are too familiar with La Sombra, but I'm
actually not with La Sombra, but I am with Manders.
Yes, and La Sombra is a former incarcerated individual.
Okay.
He used to be an affiliate of Charles Mason.
We all been?
True, touche. But he is very he's another one that has done some things because of the manipulation of Charles Mason. And if I'm not mistaken, has already gotten a little bit of a taste of Manders before. So now, after the recent issue with Mance Warner, I can imagine Manders is not too fond going into this one on Friday.
I mean, when we talk about the world of independent wrestling, and there's so much crossover, so many talent go to different companies. Manders has gone, he's gone to both House of Glory and to Wrestling Revolver.
Yes.
And so he is known by both audiences, and like you said, La Sombra and him both have a history. So I'm ready. If you walk away from anything in this card, I'm like, this is intense. There's a lot of like very focused energy that you're going to see inside this ring.
Definitely so. And again, you're going to see the best of 2 amazing company, crossover potential here, insanity that could happen. And like we said, these are just what have been announced so far. There's still many days left till this Friday. So if you haven't already, just to make sure you stay up to date, go follow the Wrestling Revolver on all their social medias. Links will also be in the description down below. So that way you don't miss an update. Because if you aren't following them already, you might have missed this update right here. As 2 more shows were confirmed today. Well, they were already announced, at least date-wise. But now there's names to said shows. With another Friday being on May the 17th right there. And then the following month, it will be Cage Horrors right there. With match already announced for that show right there. As it's going to be Cage of Horrors, Mads Warner versus the one called Manders. But for that May event, already announced the return of John Moxley. So a lot of just insanity.
And those tickets go for sale Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern at revolvertickets.com. Don't miss your chance. I mean, we have sold out the last time. We were just in Dayton last week, but the last 3 times we've been in Dayton, we have sold out to the point we had standing room only. Um, and so don't miss this opportunity. Iowa is such an amazing venue, and it would like fill my heart if like we are pushing that like 1,000 mark in Iowa. It's such an amazing crowd, and it's like I want to be like it's like a measuring stick for me. I'm like I want to beat 1,000 people so bad with a stick. I mean tickets, but
we know what you would like to do. Question: can it hold 1,000 plus though?
Oh yeah, it totally. That's the thing.
Okay.
It can. Okay. That's the thing. And I'm like, I wanna see that so bad.
Hold on.
Feel it in me.
So there you go. Remember that will be happening tomorrow. Make sure you get your tickets because already announced, like we said, will be this man right there, John Moxley. And you already know again, the crew is gonna be there. They're on the poster. But the question is, will Alex Shelley be walking in still Pro Wrestling Revolver heavyweight champion and possibly the House of Glory heavyweight champion? And again, we don't know what will Matthew Palmer have some involvement this Friday. We don't know. Will Rich Swann definitely have some involvement this Friday? Again, it's gonna be you're gonna have to wait and see because I can imagine if Ace Austin is around, he might have some things to say this Friday.
I would think so too.
Yeah, because he was moments away. I have to give it to him. Again, I give credit to Alex Shelley, great champion, but it feels like Ace Austin was maybe moments away of securing himself a Revolver heavyweight championship reign there.
I mean, Alex Shelley is one of the best in the world. It's also one of the disappointing things that now he's had to form a faction to like better solidify his dominance in wrestling. I guess that's the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
And at the end of Revolver this past Thursday, left Jake Christ on the floor. You might have seen the social media post that Jake tore a muscle in his calf.
Unfortunately, yes, I saw that.
And then, by the way, went to fight War Games in MLW because, hey.
That's what I was like, oh, why? Just because that's what I was like, wait a second. So you injured this said day, but then you still...
I mean... I'm not in the place I used to be physically, and I totally admit that. I have metal in my neck, and I have somebody else's knee. So but you know what? There's times I am having to get physically involved, and I'm like, I want it. And at the level of caliber of talent that Jake Christ is, he's not gonna. Oh my God! I almost pulled his accent out of my brain. He's not gonna.
Let's not get Phil Stamper in trouble here tonight. Let's.
That's not going to stop him because he's Jake Christ.
Yes.
He's a worldwide phenomenon. He's a former X Division champion.
Yes.
He's a former Revolver world champion. You are not going to stop Jake Christ. And so does that mean is Alex Shelley in a little bit of trouble himself this weekend? Not just from Santana. I think he has a line of people who are ready to like make sure, maybe he doesn't have some gold around his waist in the future.
This is true. Again, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be watching, a lot of people that could be in the area. You never know who can show up at this. Again, because this is not everyone that's going to be there. There's still announcements to come, a lot of things to come, and you're going to want to be there because that also includes, I wonder what could possibly happen with falling out from this event right here, from Grit Your Teeth. We still have the new Revolver Remix champion decided at Ready or Not with Gringo Loco now holding that championship right there. What could possibly happen? Again, the insanity. I know he's already made his claim that he'll be there. The current House of Glory Cruiserweight champion, Casey Navarro, made his statement that he wants the best of Revolver. So who knows what could happen this Friday night?
I mean, we're no stranger to Casey either. And you know what? Casey is one of the best in the world. So bring it. In my mind, I'm like, bring it. If you want to see the best talent, see them on Friday at Revolver X House of Glory. Like, what's funny is I keep saying that, and like our hashtag is Revolver X HOG, but the event's called Philadelphia. I'm just saying. But
we also found that out the last time we did this podcast. So yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
But
we're gonna keep promoting it that way. So
it's just gonna be an amazing event. Like
it is.
It's just gonna be an amazing event. You need to be a part of it. Be there. And if you can't be there because you live on the other side of the country, we know how that is. Get it. Watch on Triller TV.
Yes. Again, it is going to be a stacked event. You're going to want to watch it and watch all of these next upcoming Revolver events. But also, again, it is WrestleMania week. That means there's so many events going around, which includes that Sunday. Shout out to our friends at SPO as they'll be hosting their event, Endgame, with a stat event with the champion, the notorious 187 Homicide, defending that championship against the legendary Too Cold Scorpio. Phil, talk to us a little bit about this and just the insanity you expect that night. Just this match alone that could sell the card, but there's so much more happening.
So you might have even also noticed on that graphic how it said in-game part 2, because this event starts outside and moves indoors. Now there's a plan, just to say, weather permitting, if things go awry outside, all of it will be inside. So don't like freak out that, oh no, they're only gonna do half the event. Everything will then move inside. But weather permitting, will start outside, move inside. You already mentioned Homicide versus Too Cold Scorpio. You have a steel cage grudge match between Rebecca Scott and Christina Marie. You have a tag team scramble cell match that is featuring a crazy amount of talent.
Featuring the Carnage crew is the insanity of that. There's so much going on in that match, which it also features, unfortunately, well, it's a bittersweet moment because this will also be the last time you'll get to see the Carnage crew together, as this is the send-off for Tony DeVito. And it's just, it's a lot of insanity with this one because you have the Rep, you have the Carnage crew, you have so much happening under one roof or possibly outside. Again, it's going to be half and half, hopefully.
Kings, the golden era from Monster Factory, the Backseat Boys, the new Backseats,
the new Backseats, yes.
Just, I mean, and hey, I might have thrown my ring in the hat to say, hey, Lucky, you know, we're like 15-year and AWA Quebec Tag Team Champions. I mean, maybe we should jump in there too. I've just put it out, but I will say now, there's also going to be a battle royal that day.
Well then, so we just talked about this, Phil. You shouldn't be. Well then again,
I'm in it. Okay, let me cut the. I'm in it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. You know, so hey, if you want to see how well I do.
Well then, so stay tuned to that.
Or my death. One of the two might happen. And you know what? It'll be caught there on camera. You can be there live and in person and watch it for yourself.
Oh man. But to answer Makai's question right here, that event will be coming soon to YouTube. So stay tuned to Loudy's Wrestling with our event from this past Saturday, March 5th. That'll be coming in the next coming weeks. Stay tuned for that. Shout out to that, because that also featured the notorious 187 Homicide. Funny enough, in a trios match with Johnny Cashmere, who will be in action against Jordan Oliver on Sunday. So Johnny Cashmere has also been someone that's just had this resurgence. And I said it this weekend, it's like they're aging like fine wine. Like they just get better with age. And again, now it just comes with even more knowledge and more tutelage to bring into that squared circle.
I mean, you're going to see, I mean, there's so much talent. There's just so much talent that's going to be there. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen on Sunday. You need to be there. You need to be there. I'm reaching through the screen and I'm like dragging you with me. Mitchell Firehouse, Burlington, New Jersey, and it's right next to public transit from through the New Jersey Transit River City line. Or excuse me, not River City. New York Transit River line drops you off at the Burlington Town Center, which is 5 blocks from the Firehouse. It is about a 25-minute drive from Philly. So easy access for you to get there and to get back in time for WrestleMania if you're going tonight too.
Got you. So there you go, right there. There's no excuse, especially it's like, oh, but I want to watch WrestleMania. You can do both.
No one's saying you can't.
You can do both, everyone. So
we have the technology.
There's also a way, because last I checked, Peacock is available on your phone, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll make sure everything is possible, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the week 2. You're going to be watching a lot of wrestling. A lot of great wrestling is happening. So shout out to our friends at Triller TV as well for putting up a lot of amazing events that are going to be happening this week. Which, if you haven't seen the just crazy list, follow Phil on his social media. So that way you can see that amazing list of just insanity that will be happening.
And you know what? Even if there is crazy additions last second, I'm trying to throw them out there. I made an update. I think it was like 4 p.m. yesterday that I put out this morning. So there are, you know, as I find out little things might have been tweaked or changed, you know, check it out. Go to my social media, especially on X and Facebook. Check it out. You can find out more information about everything that's happening during Mania Week, all the live wrestling action events, because I didn't put Wale Mania because it is an amazing event. There's not live matches.
Yes, so that's going to be more of the. Again, it's a nice music event, recreational. It's a party. It's a good time.
Greet a whole bunch of talent. It's just not live wrestling. That's the only reason I got reamed out for not putting Wale Mania.
Oh, geez.
But it's just not live wrestling. It's the only reason I didn't put all of WrestleCon on there, except for the Mark Hitchcock Superstar Show or Memorial Show, because it's a live event. Paul Walter-Hauser's going to beat Sami Callihan in a street fight. I mean,
wait a second. You can't say that now. Just like what? Again, Phil, the issues that you're creating for yourself. First, I get the JT.
The mic I'm dropping,
but
I mean,
don't think. Who knows what can happen?
Just because now I have realized all along how I've been played by JT Dunn does not mean that I have forgotten anything about Sami Callihan. Just saying.
Well, shout out to our friends at the DWO. They're going to be having Sami Callihan and a good friend, Tusslemania, on there as well. They're streaming right now as well. So once you finish with us, go check them out. They go a little longer. Friend?
Is he? No.
I'm trying to be nice here, Phil. I'm trying to be nice.
Fair.
I know you're giving your opinions. I like it. Just using that freedom of speech here. We're letting it go now. We're finally. I'm
letting my hair down.
We're gonna be a little pun intended. We're gonna say here it's those revelations now of just this is what Phil has been feeling. See, we full circle moment there.
You say Phil has been feeling? What did you say?
No, this is what Phil has been feeling all along.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Like, I don't know if I understand or like this context.
No. Let's not do that now. Because that would be clipped and someone's gonna make it weird. So let's not do that. But,
we beat him to the punch.
But no. Again, this is good to see, but also it could lead to some issues for you, Phil. So we don't want to see that. We don't want to see repercussions for these scenarios that are happening here.
I mean, let's face it. I've put my mouth in it and my foot into my mouth plenty of times, and you know what? Now I get to own it. And so, hey, I don't know what the future is going to bring, except for really amazing wrestling. But as the president of wrestling, you know what? I have to remind myself I run this place. And so guess what? I'm going to be running this place.
Well, there you go, Dan, saying the president's opinions are facts. I don't know about that. Again, I don't want to disagree because I like to keep things cordial here with our good friend Phil. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see what happens for Phil. Hopefully everything goes well because we like to have him on again in the future and not have him be injured when that next episode happens. Because again, I can only imagine JT Dunn not too happy. The unit, or the new variation, I should say, the unit, not too happy with current events of Mr. Phil Stamper here. But we shall see. We shall see what happens in the future. But again, guys, if you haven't already, we're going to show the links once more. Make sure you're following Phil and the Wrestling Revolver and their respective social medias right there. Follow Phil on Trust in Phil on Instagram, Trust in Phil at Trust in Phil, I should say, Twitter, X, whatever you like to call it. Follow Wrestling Revolver there at Pro Wrestling Revolver, PW Revolver on Instagram, at PW Revolver there on Twitter, X, whatever you like to call it. Link to get your tickets will also be in the description down below for all future events. That's going to be that same link down there, with tomorrow being officially at 8 p.m. You can get your tickets for another Friday. That's going to be May the 17th. A stacked event already announced. You got the crew right there, but also the return of Jon Moxley. And then it's going to be on June 22nd, Saturday, June 22nd, Cage of Horrors there, as it's going to be Mance Warner versus one called Manders. And then don't forget this coming Friday, it is Philadelphia, as Wrestling Revolver and House of Glory bring to you a huge stacked event this Friday afternoon, I should say. I was about to say Friday night, April the 5th at 3 p.m. from the Trinity Center for Urban Life, 2212 Spruce Street. It's going to be a stacked event. Don't miss out. Phil, thank you again so much for joining us here. Always a pleasure to have you on. And again, just be safe with these opinions, Phil. Just be very safe with these opinions.
I think it might be my opinion that might hurt some people. So it's gonna be what it is.
So we're gonna see what happens. But Phil, thank you again, and we'll see you very soon. And everyone watching, thank you so much as always. Don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people. Respect the craft, and we'll see you guys on the next one.